Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're doing my Best of Skincare 2020 video, part 1. So y'all already know what a Best of Skincare video is. I'm basically just gonna round up all of my top performing products of the year. I know we keep saying that 2020 was a total wash and we wish it had never happened, but I feel like there were some good things that happened in 2020 for me. Like I launched my makeup brand, Musée Beauty, which I am wearing on my eyes today, and I got engaged. So some good things did happen. We're not here to talk about my personal life, we're here to talk about skincare, so let's get into it. So I guess we'll start with cleansers because we'll just knock these out really quick. So cream cleansers are something that I really got into in 2020, and there were a bunch of cream cleansers that I did try, including the Kors Greek Yogurt Cleanser, the Fenty Skin Cleanser, the Kors Wild Rose Cleanser. There were a lot of cream cleansers that I tried out and tested, and the one that came out on top definitely is the Fenty Skin Cleanser. I really cannot say enough good things about this. I thoroughly enjoyed this. There are a bunch of things that make this really worthwhile. It's, first of all, the really beautiful creamy texture that just lathers up so luxuriously. Like, this is not an expensive cleanser, but it feels really expensive and really high-end because of the rich creamy lather, the way it smells like vanilla. It just has such an elevated sensorial experience. I really love using this, and it does fit the bill in terms of a gentle cleanse. It doesn't leave my skin feeling stripped or dry or irritated after I use this. This is definitely a great cleanser to look out for Black Friday. I did want to make my Best of Skincare videos earlier this year so that they were before Black Friday, when a lot of skincare brands do really fantastic deals. So if you did want to pick up anything that I'm recommending in today's video that I personally loved, you can do that at a discount. So the other cleanser that really just blew me away in 2020 is the Rosen Skincare Super Smoothie Cleanser. I don't have it with me because I did finish it up, but that cleanser just really, it shocked me in the best way. It has a really fun texture and scent to it. It smells fruity and kind of tropical. It smells really lovely. And what I think I like most about it is the fact that it has kind of a very slightly fine, gritty texture to it. It's not an abrasive, gritty texture like St. Ives Apricot Scrub necessarily, but it does have some slight abrasion to it. So I feel like I'm very gently exfoliating my skin when I am using it. And just like all the cleansers that I always use, it doesn't leave my skin feeling stripped or dry. I know it's something that I say so many times, but if your cleanser is leaving your skin feeling really squeaky clean and stripped and dry, there's like no amount of product you can put on top of it to undo that damage, especially with prolonged use. So having a really fantastic cleanser at your foundation of your skincare routine, I think that's something super important. The last cleanser I did want to talk about is from Pharmacy. This is the Green Clean Cleansing Balm, and this is my absolute favorite cleansing balm of all time of 2020. There were other cleansing balms that I did use and I did enjoy, and there were some that I did not enjoy, but this one definitely came out on top. This has a beautiful texture. It melts away makeup, SPF, mascara, even waterproof makeup super easily. It just completely melts everything down in the most gentle way, and it's really easy to rinse away too. So generally with cleansing balms, you take a scoop of it in your hands, warm it up to turn it into an oil, and then you apply it to your face and you massage it in. You get all the makeup off, all the SPF off, whatever's on your face, it comes off. Then what you'll do is get your hands wet and start to massage even further. What that does is it emulsifies the cleansing balm with the water, and it creates an emulsion, and an emulsion is much really to rinse away than just a straight up cleansing balm. So with this cleansing balm, it rinses away really beautifully once you do create that emulsion with water, and I really love this. Next, we move on to moisturizers. The first moisturizer I did finish up, so I don't have it with me, but the Avène Rich Hydrating Cream. Oh my goodness, I loved that moisturizer so much this year, especially when I was going through a very intense retinization process with using a retinol that didn't necessarily agree with my skin. I really feel like that moisturizer kept my skin from just completely having a nuclear meltdown. What's really nice about the Avène moisturizer is that it's super rich and super thick, and it just simply moisturizes and creates kind of an occlusive barrier on the skin to prevent transepidermal water loss. The other moisturizer that I really loved to mix in with the Avène moisturizer is the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm B5. I still use this because I do have a little bit left. This is amazing. It is super, super thick. So in my humble opinion, you do need to mix it in with another moisturizer before applying it to your skin. But this is full of beautiful ingredients like cica, which is a really soothing ingredient. It also has panthenol, which is really hydrating, really soothing. It's just a perfect cocktail of ingredients to really hydrate and soothe the skin. The French, they really did something with this product. Another moisturizer that I used the heck out of this year is from Good Molecules. So this is a silicone-free priming moisturizer. You'll notice a trend with the moisturizers that I generally prefer in that they usually don't contain any exfoliating actives like retinol or alpha hydroxy acids or anything like that, because I just prefer my moisturizers to simply hydrate and moisturize and provide a nice, gentle occlusive barrier on my skin. That's the kind of vibe that I really like in my moisturizers, and so this moisturizer is also very similar to the Avène Rich Hydrating Cream. I do think that this moisturizer is very comparable to the Avène Rich Hydrating Cream. I never thought about it until like right this moment, so I don't have anything intelligent to say right now about the topic, but I do think they're very similar. I do prefer the packaging of this one because it is a pump packaging, which I just like a little bit better because you get more control over how much product you dispense. I do really love this moisturizer. It's very inert in the fact that it just simply moisturizes the skin, nothing extra, no frills, no nothing. Another moisturizer, I guess I used a lot of moisturizers in 2020, but this moisturizer from the Inkey List, the hemp moisturizer, this is so good and it's super inexpensive. I personally love using this for travel because it's so tiny. Obviously, I didn't do a lot of travel in 2020, but if I do start traveling again, I will absolutely be reaching for this over and over again because it's just a really beautiful creamy moisturizer. It's not too thick, it's not too light to where it just disappears off the skin. It just is the perfect texture. It's like Goldilocks of skincare, and it's really gentle, it's really moisturizing. I love this. So all of those moisturizers I talked about were nighttime moisturizers. Obviously you can use them during the daytime, but I prefer to use more hydrating sunscreens. So when I use a hydrating sunscreen, I don't necessarily need to use a moisturizer underneath it, but I will say that during the summertime when I was using a more matte sunscreen, I did feel like my skin was a little bit lacking in hydration, and so I introduced this moisturizer into my routine. This is the Pharmacy Daily Greens Oil-Free Gel Moisturizer. This is so freaking nice. This is like one of the only gel moisturizers that I've ever liked, the other one being the Belief Aqua Bomb, which I think is also a gel moisturizer. It's kind of like a hybrid cream, but anyway, this is a true gel moisturizer that actually agrees with my dry skin. Despite the fact that my skin is dry, I did find that this somehow, okay y'all, it kept my skin hydrated, but it also didn't make me shiny, which I think is really important because over the summertime, it was very hot and humid where I was, and so it was really important that my skin stayed shine free and not super greasy or oily. This moisturizer is filled with really wonderful antioxidants and also niacinamide, which is one of my favorite ingredients of all time. So this is definitely a wonderful moisturizer if you have oily skin. Or when summertime rolls around again and you're looking for a moisturizer that will hydrate your skin without making you super shiny, this is a really fantastic one. Okay, so fun fact, I literally have never used a toner until this year. So I actually have 3 different toners that I want to talk about that completely blew me away this year. So this toner from Glow Recipe is definitely something that totally blew my mind when I first tried it. I was obviously very excited about it when I bought it, but it was one of those things where I was like, it could be really gimmicky, it could be really great, I don't really know. It turned out to be one of my best purchases of all of 2020. It has like cactus water in it, so it's a little bit more viscous than a typical watery toner, which I think is a really fun kind of textural element to it. It smells really good, like watermelon candy, and also it is just crazy hydrating because it does have that gluconolactone or polyhydroxy acid in it that is really hydrating, and also it has a lot of really beautiful, soothing, hydrating ingredients in here to kind of work together to create a really nice toner. So I will say, if I want my skin to look phenomenal the next day, I always use this the night before because it really just packs an extra punch into my skincare routine and it just makes my skin super glowy and super radiant. So in terms of like a BHA toner or salicylic acid toner, definitely Pharmacy Deep Sweep completely changed my mind about how I felt about other BHA toners. Dare I say, I do like this better than the Paula's Choice BHA. I think this one is just as effective, but I just prefer the formulation of this a lot more. Not only does it have really beautiful like green glass packaging, but it just is full of really great antioxidants. It has that 2% salicylic acid that's really, really great for clearing out blackheads, clearing out congestion, getting your pores under control. There was a period of time where I wasn't using this because I was out of town, and my skin really, really missed this product. As soon as I started using it again, my pores cleared up super nicely, my skin texture improved, I stopped breaking out as often. So this product has definitely been a huge win for 2020 in terms of skincare. I really have been enjoying this. So I don't think I've actually talked about this product on my channel yet, but this is the I'm From Rice Toner. I received this about a month or two ago, and I have completely fallen in love with it. I know this is like a new product to my channel, but I did want to include it in this video because this is just such a standout product. It's not that expensive compared to other toners of this category, like a creamy toner, but it seriously is so moisturizing without being heavy, which I think is something really interesting, because normally when I say I want to moisturize my skin, I reach for like a moisturizer. But with a moisturizing toner like this, I can layer this on and my skin doesn't feel heavy, which is really important for daytime use. So in the evening, I don't really care about looking like a complete grease ball because I'm literally just going to bed. But during the daytime, if my skin is feeling really parched and really dry and I want to pack an extra dose of that moisture and that extra creamy emollients to my skin, I don't want to use a really thick moisturizer because it won't layer well with my sunscreen. So I always reach for this one and I'm never disappointed. Okay, next we move on to Acne Treatments, and I have completely changed the way that I address pimples that I get. So in the past, I used to use a benzoyl peroxide treatment on any spots that I get, and I just kind of got frustrated with how drying that treatment was, and just overall how drying acne treatments are, because they can be very, very harsh and very irritating. So enter the pimple patch. I have started obsessively using pimple patches. These are just so effective on my skin. So these particular pimple patches are from CosRx. They are super, super inexpensive, so I don't feel bad about putting them on literally any spot that comes up on my face. With wearing masks during the daytime when you leave the house, I have started using these on pimples that arise like maskne. I will use them underneath my mask and it is so helpful. So a lot of time when you break out from wearing a mask, it's because your skin is really irritated from the friction and the humidity buildup underneath your mask. But when you have a pimple patch covering any spot that you have, you're basically creating a nice little healthy barrier between the mask and your skin. So it's basically enabling that pimple that you currently have on your skin to heal really nicely and not be further irritated. So instead of reaching for really drying acne treatments, instead I just reach for a pimple patch, and it's working super well for me. I find that this significantly brings down the size of the pimple that I get and also the redness. And best of all, I don't have to deal with the really annoying dry patch that happens afterwards. If I were using an acne treatment, this doesn't do that at all. So technically this is a hydrocolloid dressing. There are tons of pimple patches out there. Truthfully, this is the only one that I've tried, but I'm really happy with them because they stick to my skin super, super well. So if I'm like rolling around in bed and like rubbing my face against my pillow in my sleep, these don't fall off at all. They stay perfectly stuck to my face, and in the morning when I peel them off, you can actually see the gunk that comes out of your pimple, which is really gross, but also very satisfying. Yeah, I really do recommend these. I think they're fantastic. They are a thicker patch, which means that they will be more noticeable, but the trade-off is that they don't fall off, but they are thicker. And then lastly, in this particular video, because there is another video coming about other things like serums and sunscreens and that kind of vibe, but the last product I wanted to talk about in this video is facial oils. I've always been very into facial oils, but lately the facial oil that just completely changed my life in 2020 is the Good Molecules Rosehip Seed Oil. This is so beautiful. I think that as far as oils go, there isn't a whole lot of distinction between brands. Like, I think most brands do great rosehip seed oil. I just really love this one because it's a great size to travel with and it's very lightweight. I do like the fact that it's in an opaque bottle because rosehip seed oil can oxidize, so that makes me happy in terms of packaging. and this is just wonderful. It makes my skin super soft and super nourished. I really love the effect that it has on my skin the next day, and with continued use, I do notice that my skin is a lot softer and a lot more radiant. Okay, so those were all of my favorite picks of 2020 for this video. In my next video, which will be uploaded this week as well, I'll go over serums, sunscreens, and masks. I would love for you to stay tuned for part 2 of this video, so if you want to see that video, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. I do upload twice a week all about skincare. It's really fun over here. We get really sciencey, so if that's your kind of thing, I would love for you to subscribe. I would really love to know what your favorite picks of 2020 were in terms of skincare, because I feel like the skincare industry came out with a lot of good stuff this year, a lot of things that really surprised me. So yeah, I think there are a lot of great things out there now. Not that there weren't before, but I think this year especially with lockdown and everything, we saw a huge uptick in the whole self-care rhetoric, and so skincare industry definitely jumped on that and came out with some really fantastic products. So do let me know what your skincare favorites were in 2020, but until my next video, have a beautiful week and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!